Hello, and welcome to the ABCD show. I'm broadcasting.
We'll wait for a few minutes to start the video once everybody comes in.
No, we just broadcasted.
Yes. Hello everyone to the ABCD show. Please mention in the chat from which part of the city you are or world you are. Hi Renuka.
We're so excited to see all of you here, and we're so happy that many of you keep coming every week. So write down where you are from.
Sushmita. We have Karuna from Telangana. Hi Karuna.
Very nice.
Someone from Mumbai, Hyderabad.
Sushmita is from Hyderabad. Okay, we are from Bahrain. It's coming so fast.
Yes.
Siliguri. Oh, how nice.
Kalyan also is there. Nasik, Bahrain.
Udaipur.
Nikita from Hyderabad.
We have Anita from Rajkot.
Nirja from Delhi.
And Zulfika was here last time also from Bahrain.
I think so. We had someone from Bahrain.
Yes, she was there last time.
Even Ram Ratna School is always there with us. Yes.
She is also from Bahrain. Okay, Celine, you raised your hand. You already have a question.
Or they just want to come and chat with us.
Okay, Rupali Tana is here. How lovely. Alka Bala from
Hi, Alka.
Jaya's here also.
Yes, so nice to see them. Okay, now I'm broadcasting the video.
I'm Amrita Rajpan. I've been teaching for 22 years, but I've been learning my whole life, and that's why I have a company called Edu Learn Grow. I'm a sports nutritionist. I'm an avid traveler, and I'm an active Rotarian. I'm also the territory head for the Early Childhood Association Mumbai. I'm founder Edu Learn Grow and co-founder the ABCD show.
Hi, I'm Bela Kotwani, also known as Big B. Big for the size of my heart and B for Bela. A fun-loving person with a great sense of humor and a passionate pickleball player. National Core Committee member of Early Childhood Association, founder and principal of Cosmic Kids International, co-founder Puppet Maestros, and co-founder the ABCD Show. The ABCD Show is a show where everything concerned with children is addressed.
We're going to get in eminent experts whose opinions matter. We're going to introduce you to new products. We're going to have theories unfold into practice. We'll discuss mental health and wellness. We'll look at best practices. We'll give you parenting tips, and we'll explore tools and strategies to help you teach effectively.
So, if you are a preschool coordinator, parent, teacher, or anyone who has anything to do with children, this show is for you.
So don't forget to like our page to know more about our upcoming events.
Welcome everyone. I can see all of you are here, and we see many of you many times, and you'll come in repeatedly. So this time you're not going to be disappointed, just like always. We have Rekha Shahani with us, and Rekha is so popularly known as Ma. Rekha Ma. You know, that's how all of us address her. She is the mother of all educationists. So All questions are going to come to the Ma later.
Welcome, Rekha, to the ABCD show.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are very,
It's so
very
lovely
happy
to
to
see you
have
two
you here,
girls.
Rekha.
So happy to be here.
And this topic is so dear to everybody. Everyone who's an educationist knows that we have to start from inside. We cannot start from anywhere else. But how do we start from inside? How do you do education inside out? And so we're going to start with that. But before that, I want to introduce you. So whoever who doesn't know about Rekha, which I don't think that's anyone over here will say they don't know Rekha.
Amrita, volume is gone.
My volume is gone.
Yes, now you can speak.
Okay, let me come a little ahead. All right. So Rekha Shahani or Rekha Ma is an educationist and she's a change maker. And she's been in the line of education for more than 30 years because she just loves children. And the school which she worked in, she was a principal of, was started more than 110 years back by her grandfather, which is Kamla High School. And this gave her an opportunity to reach out to thousands of children. And most of these children were first generation learners. So, you know, Rekha, you have made a difference to thousands of children by just being over there. Wonderful. So during her tenure as a principal, she found her calling. And her calling is the subject we're talking about today. And she opted for voluntary retirement. And she's here with us. She also does work with initiatives of change. And this initiative has taken her to different parts of the world where she spreads peace and reconciliation through education and creators of peace. So she's visited different parts of Asia, Australia. She's also been to Lebanon. She's been to Pakistan. She's also been a part of the dialogue between Pakistan and Kashmir to bring about peace through school curriculum. She's a trustee of the Public Concern for Government's Trust, and she looks after the core Kuch Aur program for students. So amazing. Rekha, I can go on and on, but we have to get on with the program also, na?
Absolutely.
We need to add about the secretary of ECA and APA.
Yes.
Diplomatic secretary.
She's the
Yes.
diplomatic
Diplomatic secretary.
She's the diplomatic secretary of ECA and APA. Yes. Yes. I missed out the very core important
Crucial
point.
part. Yes.
Correct. So now I'm just getting to the questions. No, Rekha, I know you since some time now. Every time I see you, you know, I see someone who's laughing, who's chirpy, who's bubbly, who's alive. You know, if I can put it that way, because many people you see are not alive, even though they're there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, and I've never told you this, but sometimes I wonder, do you actually do any work at all? Because people like us who work, you know, cannot be happy all the time. And we're constantly stressed. So tell us what makes you this kind of person.
I owe it to my hereditary. I'm surrounded with a family who's.
Rekha, you'll have to speak a little louder.
I said I owe it, or I'll blame it on my family. So, like you introduced me and said that the school was started by my grandfather. Throughout, when I was a student over there, and when I became the principal, my uncle is the secretary now. He used to always say, "Kamla High School में सब कुछ होता है and studies by the way हो जाता है." So it is a fact. I do laugh laugh a lot, and laugh aloud also. So many educationists have even passed a comment about it many times, not once, but many times I've heard, "ये कुछ काम करती है क्या?" And I just smile. And I say that why does education have to be a serious venture or a business, you know? And why can't we just laugh it out? And you won't believe me, Amrita, I have gone through the worst stresses on that chair. And that's the reason I decided I had to leave. But yeah, I do take my one life little seriously. So I just enjoy it. And I've enjoyed education and children.
Wonderful. So, serious, when you take life seriously, you take life joyously seriously. You take
Very.
being alive seriously.
Yes, yes.
Or
So when I
joyous
cry,
seriously.
I really cry. So when I'm laughing, I really laugh. When I cry, I really cry. And I don't care if anybody is around. I just sob, sob, and sob. And then I bounce back.
Wonderful. Really
I
nice.
really love your happy-go-lucky attitude, Rekha, I must
Yeah.
say. I
Blessing.
admire
It's a
that.
blessing.
Yes.
It's a blessing.
Yes. Now, coming back to our topic, Rekha, education inside out. Can you throw some more highlight on that since people are here to eagerly waiting to know
Yeah.
about that?
So, Bela, I would say, according to me, and what I'm going to share is a personal journey. So, for me, it's a two-pronged thing. So, when we say education inside out, it's about me as a person, as an educationist, and my heart and my soul and my mind inside out, and also the four walls of the classroom. That's my second this thing. So I come from a school where there was no playground, there was no compound that I could run around and all. So I just felt that I needed to be out of that four walls. So I'm talking about both. So as an educationist, I feel if my calling is not loving the kids, I think I'm in the wrong profession.
Right.
And if I do not find the time to focus on myself as a person, on learning, because it's all about emotions. You have to connect with yourself to connect with the world. You cannot say I've got degrees and I've got this certificate and that if you're not connecting with yourself, because it's with everyone you have to connect in an education line. So that is one inside out. So I need to have my quiet time. Like even before this session, I said I want to run away and just be quiet on my own. So this we learned in our school as students because we follow the Brahma Samaj. So Keshav Chandra Sen said, listen to your inner voice, and we have that quiet. So I always tell educators, take that pause, morning ko, sham ko, kabhi that, and do not make the premises or your physical structure a bahana of moving out of your classroom. And during the course of this 1 hour, I will share with you what I mean by going out of that classroom. So an English teacher doesn't always have to teach in a class. A maths teacher doesn't have to teach concepts only in a class. We need to move out of our classroom, maybe on the terrace. I use my school terrace a lot. I use my school compounds a lot. I use my school galleries a lot. So, of course, I was blessed. I had a park opposite. So, we used to officially allow children to go there and have 2, 3 periods with their teachers. So, I mean, both ways, inside out, physically, emotionally, mentally, everything.
Wow, I like the idea. Very nice.
Yeah, wonderful. And all so relevant because today I see Bombay has no space.
Really.
So when you were in a school which doesn't have space, I think many people over here are facing the same situation where their schools are just buildings and they have to find their way, even in the corridors or in the terrace or in a park or however.
That's why some
So
schools also have indoor play area now. That's what they are trying to do to get
yeah,
to the.
yeah, and I think that's a good idea really to have that indoor play area also. So Rekha, my next question is, I'm sure intrinsically you're this happy person. Like you said, it's hereditary and it's in your genes. So you're just this joyous, lively person. But have you seen anyone in the education industry who you feel is a role model and this is the person I want to emulate and, be like somebody? So who is that person and why do you think that person is your role model also?
Okay. So, my generation of people would know that person as my role model, but I would like to share this with educators or teachers or parents who are watching. That was my principal. And I studied in Kamla High School, and I had this lady who was my teacher and principal. Her name was Sita Samtani, and she was like, the school is now 110 years old. So she was the founder principal when the school was on that side of the border, and it was called Nava Kanya Vidyalaya. In 1942, it got the name Kamla High School. This lady, Amrita, always clad in white sari, handbag, one Amura, but what you call a true educationist. For some, she was Mother Teresa because it was a Sindhi medium school. So she sponsored education free of charge. But it was in the early 50s, this lady started exchange programs with America and UK.
Wow.
So for me, that was a big thing. I was not even born then. Then in the 70s, there we had suddenly this computer education come. Visionary to the core. Her language, her way of speaking, her way of carrying herself, she was like a chalta firta Shakespeare bolo, Robert Frost bolo, Tennyson bolo. She didn't have to refer to notes. She was just too good. So she was my teacher, the principal of the school, and strict disciplinarian. Never raised her voice. Never. We were all petrified of her. It was a co-ed school. We dare not even talk to the boys. We were scared. But she was way beyond her age and thought process. And she was so broad minded, so broad minded. It's unbelievable. But because we were scared as children, then vocational education, we all went through that, not because it is meant for a certain category of students, but she was empowering each one of us that tomorrow you don't become an engineer and a doctor, you have a business start, you can be an entrepreneur. So we learned baking, we learned preservation, we learned cooking, and she taught us to cook on the stove. She said, how, what if the gas fails? And those days stoves were there, and above all, she was on all the boards of state board. You name a SSC school, she knew Persian, she knew Bengali, she knew music, she knew everything. And she was on all the boards. So she was deciding the books, she was deciding the curriculum. And there were only men when she was a principal. So we used to see the Bombay SSC Association principals, which we used to have meetings in our school, and we were kids. And we used to see all these men and this lady alone. And they used to listen to her. They used to listen. And she said, no child will be uneducated because of monetary thing. So the bus used to go to Virar. The school started in Bombay again in 48. It used to go to Virar. It used to go to Dombivli, Baseen, places like that. And we used to have busload of students coming. More than that, the importance of uniform, she taught us, Amrita. And you know what? Partition made a lot of people and families poor. And she said, Kamla High School has to have a uniform. We don't want to know who has money, who doesn't. And thankfully, we carried that on even when we had first generation non-Sindhis coming to our school. And like the first kids were all in the first year with all the partition kids and all the school results for 85%, which was a very big thing for everybody. So she was my role model. She was my mom's sister. And when my marriage thing came in thing, I want to share with these educators, she passed on when she was 95, but her thought process, she said, the zamana has changed. Everybody doesn't have to get married. She never married, but we, a lady whom we were scared of as a principal educationer, she was way beyond that. And she said, you don't have to get married if you don't feel that you have to.
I love
She's
that
really
name.
broad-minded and forward thinker. Hello?
Ria,
Hey,
from her. So,
Rekha, you're freezing.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry.
No, now you're frozen,
Is
Rekha.
it okay now?
Yeah, much
Yes,
better. Thanks.
yes. Rekha,
Rek- Your
you have put it
volume.
on mute.
Yes. No. I'm on.
Okay.
Okay,
Can you
okay.
hear me? I'm on here.
Okay, perfect. No, great. I think it was wonderful that you shared about your role model because it was a person you could see, and relate to. And every day seeing something like this, gives you a vision that I want to be like this. Wow, beautiful. Really nice.
Rekha, can you give us some tips
I'm
on how?
sharing this, Amrita.
Yes.
You know why I'm sharing this? Because some of us talk about role models whom we have seen. we have not met model because educators will connect and also able to ape in the future. That's why I shared
Mm,
that about her.
yes, and that is lovely.
Can you give us some tips, Rekha, on how we can create or cultivate this happy-go-lucky attitude that you have right now? So,
A, surround yourself with people who are happy.
perfect.
Second, always remember that happiness is a choice like any other emotion. So you either decide to be happy or you decide to be unhappy. And it's an ongoing process. So we are all human beings. So we cannot be happy all the time. We'll be angry, we'll be jealous, we'll be irritated. But we have to, see which emotion works for us more. So, as a sitting on the principal's chair, I went through a phase where anger worked more. And I was losing myself there somewhere. And I just felt that's not me. And I can't throw away all the teachers or say take voluntary retirement. So I have a choice. No, nobody forced me to come and teach. Nobody came to my house and say please come and take a job and all. So I would say that to all of us that we go for a job for whatever reason, but we want to sleep peacefully. We do not want to work in an environment that gives us only unhappiness. And in the morning when we get up, you get up, you decide and look at yourself. Chal na, aaj main 2 hours bhi happy. I do that to myself. If I'm upset about something, then I'll say, Rekha, no, it's a passing phase. Now, just for next 2 hours, be happy. And I do that to myself. And then I'm happy. Then I'm happy after that. Then I will sing a song that makes me happy. And then I'll do crazy things. But teachers decide. And if you feel certain negative vibes coming your way, you cannot change others. You decide to keep away. So, Bela, like I said, surround yourself with people who are happy. Talk to people. If some accept that emotion. So, if we are angry, suppose we are not happy, we are unhappy. I say it. I say this is what makes me unhappy. Some may laugh at me also, some may ridicule me also, and it happens. It's happening at this age. I've seen all that. Till this age, I've seen all that. But so when I'm accepting that, yes, I'm getting angry as a teacher, as a parent, as a colleague, I think it makes a difference. Sorry, I think the voice is breaking.
At
Somebody
times,
said,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
sorry about that.
Rekha, you're saying you have a choice to be in that situation, or you have a choice not to be in that situation, right? What if somebody really, this is really off the cuff kind of, we are having a conversation, and what's coming to me is, uh, what if somebody is forced to be in the job because they need the money for it, or they've got, you know, certain considerations. So how do you manage with that? And you're in an environment which is not suiting you.
I think, Amrita, most of the educators I have met are in a job because they find it comfortable, A, and they need the money. A school like mine, which pays seventh pay commission, why would anyone want to leave that job? And because of my few years in education, I had teachers who were getting more salary than me. So whether they work or not, they are there. But your question of situation where we are there for the need of the money, I would request you all accept it, adjust as much as you can, because we don't have a choice. When you have a choice, then jump to the opportunity. Also, if you can talk to your colleagues or your management or somebody, find that little window of conversation and communication. See, Amrita and Bela, at the end of the day, we all want happy human beings. As a management, I would say I would want happy teachers, but I also know that the personal life affect the professional life. So I may not want to share my personal life with the management, but I cannot be all the time compassionate and be empathetic towards my employee. Many times, friends, there are employees and colleagues who have decided Adibazi say that we don't want to be happy. So what do we do? But each one of us wants to make that culture in our life, wants management, wants the teachers to be happy, parents to be happy, students to be happy. Same with the principal. Any principal would want the teachers to be happy. Try to have a hobby, friends. You know what? Hobby takes you on a diversion like this. Some of us teachers have forgotten our hobbies. We have forgotten our passions. This COVID time is the best time when we are away from people to find that calling, find that hobby. And believe me, that's going to make you happy. Outside forces may not always make you happy, but inside something makes you happy, and that you will take with yourself to the schools and institutions where you're teaching. I wonder, Amrita and Bela, if that answers the question. I can go on talking,
Yes,
but
yes,
I want to hear your questions also. And please
no,
interrupt me whenever you feel like, when you feel I'm going on a tangent.
no, no, it's
No, no,
perfectly
we
fine.
interrupted because that was a question which was, for me, very important. Many people are in a job which they don't like and
Yes,
which they're not suited to. So
yes.
it was important to
Money
address
is a big
that.
thing. Money is a very, very big thing, and which I have been very vocal about, Amrita. And what people don't realize, and even educationists, sorry, I'm jumping here, but what we as educationists do not realize, we don't invest in ourselves as educators. So if today I invite you for a webinar, which is a paid one, I will think, but not spend that money there. I will spend that money there because I know that my students will benefit from it. All from it survive karenge. You have to find a way out, a passion, whether to attend. I love to attend webinars, so I will pay and go for a webinar. I will go for a lecture. And we need to understand that if today I'm getting a salary, which some of the teachers have faced in the last 3, 4 months, 6 months, if I'm getting a salary, friends, we have to have the habit of saving. With this plastic money coming, lot of my teachers I know, Amrita and Bela, they have bought a house, now they cannot repay. They have bought a car and they cannot repay. So I think money is such a big thing. If we are earning 100 rupees, my favorite sentence, if you're earning 100 rupees, please think you have earned only 70 rupees. We have to invest that money. We have to save certain amount of money. And you have to do it when you're young. You cannot do it when you're old. So अगर आज पगार आता है, certain portion, just forget about it. Just forget. Don't. That makes it. Oh, I forgot. We are all three Sindhis here.
Yes.
And
But
my
we.
husband is into managing people's money, and he was telling me that the most silly thing to do is when you have the money and you just spend it all.
Spend it all.
So money has to be worked out three ways. One is to give to society back, and one is to save, and then there is to be spent. So it has to be in that order also. So very nice, Rekha, that you brought this thing.
Rekha, question to you now is, since you mentioned stakeholders, I want to know that how do you ensure that all the stakeholders are happy? The kids are happy, the teachers are happy, the parents are happy, the management is happy. So what can you do to have a happy atmosphere in the school?
I personally definitely feel it comes from top to bottom. Definitely. So you may have a very happy teacher, but if the headmistress or headmaster has decided to make the teacher unhappy, the teacher will become unhappy during a course of time. And then the only oxygen for the teacher is a classroom because the child gives the happiness to the teacher. So I feel we have to ensure that the management is a happy management. So what do we do? Okay, so I'm talking from all the angles, and like I shared, that everybody basically is a nice person, wants to be happy. So the management has to have that dialogue between the stakeholders. The manage and I'm talking only from my experience. There are
Sure.
certain schools, the management will never meet the parents. Okay, so even my school would say that the school is a property of the uh, headmistress and we don't need to interfere. Let the head look after that. But there have been times when heads have not been able to answer to the parents or to the teachers. So the management should feel it their responsibility to have that bonding with them. Formal, informal, they can decide, but definitely. And uh, so I can read the questions. This thing. Well, I'm only talking about what I have gone through. I am not talking about what I have not been in the journey. So as a management, I know there have been things where we have not been able to keep up to the expectation. होता है. Then comes to the teachers. There have been times when teachers have not been able to keep up to the expectations of the parents. It's a school. There have been times when students have not been able to keep up with the teachers. So we all have to decide that what do we want at the end of the year for the teachers, for the students, and all. And when management starts the school, they have a vision, and I think as an educationist, when I'm joining a school, I need to go by that vision of that management. I cannot go out of the box and do things which goes against the management. That's one. So we need, because the we will have pressure from the department, we'll have pressure from the parents, so we cannot labelize anybody. Oh, ye to management aisa hi hai, oh ye to teachers aise hi hai. No, there are wonderful people even in that management or board of directors or whatever, who are very very understanding, and there will be difference of opinion in managements also. So when I say we come from chota management, we run one school only, so I come from, but there have been management which are very broad based. So those people will find it difficult, but who are running there are schools, there people have schools like 10 schools and 20 schools, so it does become difficult. So when I say happiness for all the stakeholders, I feel for that institution we will have to sit together, we will have to talk, because 100 parents are coming to you, believe me, they have not 100 expectations, they have 500 expectations. And as a school, we cannot keep up to everybody's expectation, but reach the best that is for the students, teachers, and everybody. And I feel, honestly, if we focus on the students, the teachers and parents are really, really happy about it. And the management automatically becomes happy. But dialogue is definitely necessary. You cannot work in today's zamana in a closed door atmosphere. You cannot. You have to listen. So, you have a board, like I always say, ye baju, speak, and ye on my side, listen. We have to listen. As a teacher, we have to listen. As a parent, we need that dialogue, which somewhere sometimes is missing, friends.
And what about the
Many times it's
colleagues?
communication gap.
Even the colleagues, sometimes a lot of friction between the colleagues happen, and
Hmm.
how do you handle those frictions? And a lot of bickering happens sometimes in an
Yeah.
institution.
Politics.
Yes.
Tell me one thing, we all belong to
कहाँ पे नहीं होता
families.
है. Yes.
We are human beings, but we have to realize the larger vision of our institution. My question always has been with my colleagues: if you want to pass a comment in the staff room, does it add on to anybody's life? Wo khali socho.
Right.
Because we come from different backgrounds. What we don't realize also, and people may not like it, but it is a fact. Our comes also plays a very important role in the atmosphere and environment of a school. From where the management comes also play. So it depends. Like today, if I didn't care as a teacher, I did not care from where my students came, but I was very clear. I wanted to know where they are going. So if they came from poverty, I did not want them to live in poverty. So I used to have teachers saying, "In log to aise hi hai, in log to nahi seekhenge." But that was not my mission, no. My mission was India is full of individuals who are not getting education. What is Rekha's role was my mission. So my mission was जो भी है खार ईस्ट के बैंड्रा ईस्ट के सैंटा क्रूज ईस्ट के educate करो, because that time certain communities were not allowed in certain schools. So we educated. फिर everybody opened the doors school. Then my mission changed. So bickering will go on, friends. Let's talk again about it. Let's sit down with our teachers. So my Tuesdays, I used to call parents. And when I call parents, it is coffee with parents in the morning, 10 parents, and in the compound we used to put chairs in different areas, and I used to ask any teacher wants to meet these parents. If they want to meet, otherwise I'll go and meet them. But capital but, I will not criticize your child in that half an hour that I'm meeting you as a parent. I will listen to you, I will share with you. So if you're telling me mera bachcha to mere ko bahut tang karta hai, I will say, what can I do as a teacher to help you? That's my question. If you're saying wo chori karta hai, so my job as a teacher is to tell the child in the classroom stories which talk about honesty. I don't have to pinpoint. I will not pinpoint. And I I had to change myself because of my teachers and my students. But if I'm losing my authentic self, I don't want to change. So when you're talking about gossips and politics, Amrita and Bela, the teachers will have to decide, are they the part of the problem or are they the part of the solution?
Perfect.
And
Very
they will
well
have
put.
to find, yes, and the heads have to decide that. We have thrown out teachers also. It didn't matter who was spoiling the discipline. But again, but we do not want to throw out people because that's our agenda. No. Teachers have to be respected at all levels and respect human beings, I would say. So if you respect and command, okay, good for you. If you want to demand, go ahead and demand that respect. But it's all up to you.
Correct. Absolutely. This is a top-down thing. It percolates
Yeah,
from top to bottom.
yeah, yeah,
The management has to make certain decisions that make everyone happy. Yeah.
yeah. And also we have to respect the management. I always say that when I used to see, I was on the both the sides. I was the management, I was the head also. And I did not get a position because I was a management's favorite. No, I worked my way through. So I started at pre-primary, I went to primary, then I did everything because my passion was that Kamla High School had a vision for 5 years, had a vision for 3 years, had a vision for. Then take a back seat. Take a back seat. And then let them run the school. And then they say, you don't trust me. I said, if I didn't trust you, I wouldn't entrust the children to you. I trust you. Learn to trust yourself. So that वो ping pong ball बहुत चलता है. Bella, you never taught me to play that pickle ball, but I have
You
played a lot
play.
of ping pong. Yeah, because they make you feel guilty as a teacher. They make you feel guilty as a headmistress. They make you feel guilty as a management. Then I think, and then I go in a pause. I go in silence. That did I really mean to do that? Did I really mean to hurt them? No. Then you go, I have hugged my teachers, I have hugged my children, I have hugged my parents. I don't care if people think, oh, ye lady hai or kaise hug. But that's me. I don't tell everybody go hug each other. But that's me. Yeah, it's a fact. That's my comfort zone. That's my need. So if I'm seeing a parent crying, I will go and hug that parent. I do that.
We believe you. That's why you're called Mana.
Yeah.
This
So,
this is not fair. This Amrita has. But Amrita, it's a fact. I did not like. I don't like that word ma'am. I don't like that word ma'am. That is there. They never said ma'am. I used to say that gives a distance. But yeah, Rekha mom hai.
yeah. And what do you see when you say mother? Then you feel that it's full of love and you can go to
Yeah,
kind of person, you can relate to
yeah.
the person, and that's why it's.
You
But
know,
Rekha, that day you
sir,
were talking about brand. What is this brand you were talking about?
When you think about Nike, what do you think?
Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
Absolutely, just do it, right? When you think about McDonald's, what do you think?
I'm loving
I'm
it.
loving it.
I'm loving it, and that fellow sitting, and we want
Yes,
to click a
clown
picture
sitting.
with him, and all. I'm
Yes.
loving it, right? So Amrita and Bela, if you ask somebody Rekha ka punchline kya hai, so they will tell you. So anybody who asks me ki, hi Rekha, how are you? I'll say rocking. So that is the punchline. Okay, rocking. So if you say Rekha Shani is education, so rocking. Then you'll say, but hi Rekha, how is life? And I'll say life is beautiful, rocking. And they say, how's life? So I say, I'm treating it well. Why ask how is life? How you're treating your life is important. So when I say a brand, Amrita and Bela, it is that when we are creating a school, it's not about only the curriculum. Oh, ours is an IGCSE school, ours is an SSC. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as an educationist. We are catering to children. So we recognize a school by this brand. Oh, either to ye hota hi hai. Oh, either ye.
Mm.
Like if you talk to somebody about Kamla High School, first thing they will say, khadi and sitting assembly. Because nowhere during our life we saw children wearing khadi twice a month and having this sitting assembly. So when like my son went to Arya Samaj school, so when we talk about the Havans people, children remember, So it's about you associate a school with that. You associate human beings with a brand. And I'm not talking about a fashion brand. I'm talking about a fashion brand. I'm talking about creating a brand, you know. So like when I was coming for the ABCD show, I said, "वो AB के show पे तो नहीं गई, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, पर ABCD show पे तो आ गई है."
So
So
cute.
that I am not joking, and I said I'll be sitting and they are somewhere else, but okay, I'll feel good about it.
So
That's what
sweet.
I'm trying to say. And each one of us, whoever is watching your show, I just feel after today, when they go back, that something, one thing should inspire them, that they say, okay, I want to create a brand for myself. I want to create a brand. So my brand is what? So you talk about laughter, happiness, rocking, life is beautiful. I want to create a brand that gives me oxygen and caters to my family and caters to my neighborhood and caters to my society, and I want to reach out to the world. Simple example of yesterday. We you spoke about creators of peace, and we had a meeting. We have once a month, and we are women from 25 different countries, thanks to initiatives of change, and we meet. Day before yesterday, we got a message from Cameroon that kids were killed because of going to an English medium school. It made me sad. It made me very sad that I am in India. We are talking of different things, and people are worried about crazy things. And here, children and teachers are losing their kids. The parents are losing their kids. Children are losing their life. You feel sad. You feel sad. So I want teachers not only to think about themselves, think about yourselves as educators of the society. We are educating parents. People trust us. Create that brand that you're remembered for. Whatever you like, whatever you like we always talk in initiatives of change, CCD. So I know my teachers and students used to know they love coffee, so I used to say, yeah, Starbucks is too expensive, but we will focus on the CCD. And friends, everybody, some of them who are watching know what CCD means for us. It is connect with yourself. That's the C. And when you connect with yourself, you get a correction. Your inner voice tells you always where you need to correct yourself. And when we correct ourselves, we get the direction. So that's our CCD: connect, correct, and direct. We don't require our management to tell us tum idhar galat hai. You don't require the head to tell us tum idhar galat hai. Somewhere we know that I have spoiled this child's mood. Somewhere we know that I have spoiled this child's results for whatever reasons best known to me. And in our tenure as educators, we all tend to do it without realizing it. It's sometimes too late, but we do realize it.
I love it. They got too good.
Very well put.
Yes.
With the CCD, it's,
It's
every
always
time
going
I
to stay
have my
with us
coffee,
now.
I will remember this.
Yes.
Yes. And I love Starbucks, and because it's connected to Tata's, it's my favorite. But again, there, to be honest and speak as Rekha, is I do weigh how many times in a year I go to cafe coffee day, and how many times in a year I go to Starbucks, and how many times I go to Sea Lounge to have it. So I have to balance that
Nice.
also.
Very nice.
But that means we all have to create our own brand,
Yes.
no? So what
Yes.
will we be known for? And
Yes.
how will people look at us and associate us?
Yes.
And what will we be associated with?
Yes.
I know what Bela is associated with, the big B. No
Big
one
B.
can forget that. She's really the big B of puppetry.
Puppetry,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you, Amrita.
And
Let's see what
also
others.
wicket ball, right? Wicket
Pickleball,
ball.
yes. Pickleball,
I did
yes.
not know about it. So see, for me, that is education. Okay, so Amrita, you didn't share, but you two girls have been a part of my police training,
Yes.
right? And you all have visited when I was doing this training in Marol with 200, more than 200 police constables. And none of them, Bela, knew about your cricket ball. For me, that's education inside out. Because you need to get real people in front of your children and say, I'll share something over here. I was getting tired sitting on the chair. So I started that walk with the principal. And every morning at 8 o'clock, I used to stand at the gate of my school because the assembly would get over. The first period would start at 8. I would stand and I would tell, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I'm going for a walk. Any student wants to come with me for a walk, tell me. So, they would like to be nice to the principal. Then they would say that, okay, we'll come. And then nobody would appear. Then I would assign one child who would have said, yes, I want to come. And I said, okay, anybody coming? Go give the name to this child. But maximum, I can walk with 20 children. I can't walk more than 20 children because I'm going to walk on the streets of Mumbai. And I used to go every day. Every day. I wear sari to school, and with my heels, I used to walk. And if I'm not comfortable, I better give up my heels. I used to walk. And I used to stand at the gate and I'll say, now where? Right, left, straight, back, where? And I would allow them to direct me. We have gone to the car market. The children don't know the difference between kilos and dozens because they know that way, but they do not know what fruit wala sells in kilos and dozens. Because when we were kids, Musambi was sold in dozens. Then
Now
time
also.
changed. No, 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 no. Yesterday I bought, he gave me in kilo. He gave me oranges in dozen, and so it depends on the fruit wala. And some of
Yeah.
these kids were the children of fruit vendors who were walking with me on the streets of Mumbai. They did not know. So we met the fruit wala. Then there was a gajra wali making that early morning gajras. I say, you all want to wear gajras? We'll go back to the school in gajras. Let the teachers laugh at us. Then I would buy for everybody gajras. And then the boys used to tell me, can I buy for my mother? Can I buy for my sister?
So sweet.
And I saw that love, respect, compassion, coming. Then we would walk out. We walk to Ramakrishna Mission. I'm teaching them history. I am teaching them history. And we sat over there. There were mangoes. Ma'am, we want to break this. I said, you know what? Before you could say, even I feel like, but are we being honest? I'm teaching them values. And then on the road, we would meet kela walas. We would buy kelas and all that. We would do crazy things. So I think education has a vast scope, vast scope.
And it can be fun.
It is fun. That is
And with
no
Rekha,
doubt.
it will be fun, I think.
No, all of us, there are loads and loads. See, Bella, there are loads and loads of
Yeah.
education. See, See, the world is surviving because of good educators.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
they have inhibition. They
Right.
don't have the confidence because our schools really do not teach our present teachers to be that confident. That is why our ETST is there, no? Education Today, Society
Society
Tomorrow, Friday,
tomorrow.
come for the webinar. And we
Yes.
are teaching andar se bahar.
Bye.
Yes. And not that I may not have inhibition, but like, see, terrace, I said. I was teaching English lesson and it started raining. And I wear cotton and silk sari. So I looked out and it started raining. I said, we'll go up on the terrace. Kids will, of course, say, yes, we'll go up on the terrace. And I said, what if we get wet and come? Then they said, no, we will not complain. I said, okay, we'll get very wet in such a way that we come and sit on the bench like that. And that's where my naughtiness come. And we went up on the terrace and we did masti, got little wet and came back so that the next teacher doesn't shout at us.
Oh God. So this was one naughty principle, I would say.
Yeah, yeah,
What
very naughty
fun.
principle.
I think this fun is also passed on to your school with, right from the
Yes,
teachers to the children to
yes,
everyone.
yes, yes,
And Rekha, I
yes,
remember your
yes.
little notes you used to write for your children.
I
Remember?
still write. I still
Yes.
write. I write every day. I
How
write
sweet,
every
yeah.
day.
What do
And
you
then now
write
I
to the
can't leave
children
them.
every day?
All the teachers of Kamla High School have got actually anybody who knows Rekha has got bookmarks, has got these little chits, which I handwrite still. I still handwrite. And I have these little
Lovely.
papers and I have these little color things, chits and all, which is, I'm surrounded. So if you're talking with Bela, I'll sit and write one more chit.
So
So,
cute.
I used to do that when I was a coordinator in Kangaroo Kids, and I was a coordinator for 9 years, and we had 30 teachers in my center. And every Friday, every day I used to go and observe what's happening as a coordinator. And every Friday we used to have our meeting. And I used to write and give out chits to the teachers. And I think, more than all the money, they just loved those chits. And they remember
Yes.
those chits. Um, it's been more than 10 years, but they all remember that, you wrote this about me, or you saw this and noticed and acknowledged. And I think it makes a lot of difference.
This is called connecting with the heart. So they'll never forget it now.
I think it's a basic need to get acknowledged. No?
Yes. True. Should we look at
Yes,
questions now,
yes.
Amrita? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Meenal.
Now you saying the first question?
Yeah, I can ask. The first
Are there
question is
questions? Are
why,
these
as
being
yes, there are a couple of them. In the question answer box, there are. Why as the child grows, the curiosity and self interest lacks for the child?
No, just say again. I lost you, Bela.
As the child
Ha.
grows, the curiosity and the self interest lacks. So, why does it happen?
No, I differ there. The child still has the curiosity. It is we who do that to them. The child still wants to fidget. It's there in all of us. You see your life as a child as you're growing up. You will see that today your confidence goes down or your interest in something goes down because you have heard that or somebody has put you down. I never drew as a student because no teacher ever told me you are good in drawing. But I love drawing. I love drawing. So now I sit and draw because nobody's going to judge me about it. We all are curious. Even till now, we want to know why. How does the gossip start? Because we are curious, no? And we put them down. So हम लोग को as an adult, as a parent and all, questioning should not stop. Keep questioning, keep talking, keep listening, and keep answering the questions. My daughter had this habit where we used to go on the road, suppose we're driving down, and she would ask, but who's this person in the poster? So I would say, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know but this building belongs to whom? I would say, I don't know. Like 5 questions, I would say, ask, and all the answers was, I don't know. She said, you don't know anything. Why are you a teacher?
Yeah, sometimes these questions can be too much.
Yeah, but we need to ask for the curiosity to go on continuing. That question answer session, as a parent, as a teacher, we have to encourage. We have to.
Correct. I'm going to get on to the next question. So this is by an anonymous attendee. So I've experienced that often people opt for the teaching profession being as their last option because they couldn't get any other job. So what suggestion do you have for them?
A, if they are working for you, then you have to have that mahal, send them for workshops, make them meet people who are absolutely true educationists. And believe me, it may have been their last option, but I have seen from my experience, it becomes their first option. Expose them to people who are true educators, who are passionate about education. Expose them to surroundings, like, what good things is happening in education, what good things the children are doing, because that person has to like children. And I agree with you 101%. Lot of them, I don't say don't get into the profession because you don't have any other profession. Let them get into it. More the merrier. It depends on us how we welcome them, how we do it. We have to find, expose, let them experience it, and let them decide the choice. And if they are not enjoying, they will get out themselves. Then it is not our responsibility. But keep on exposing them to people and workshops. They will get used to it. They start loving the profession.
Also I think sometimes you don't know enough about it to love it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So then once you know more about it, you know a little bit about a subject, then you get more drawn to it.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes I feel they also look just for the timings. I'll go in the morning, come up by afternoon.
Absolutely,
They
absolutely,
love that part of it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
See, I'll also tell you, my mission, one of the mission was and purpose was to have more teachers. I used to have 2,000 students. So I used to say, I want more Kamla High schools opening in different parts of the world and state and all. I used to tell them, you won't believe, today I have this huge group of ex-students of Kamla High School who are teachers. And they are not teaching in SSC school. All of them are teaching in ICSE, CBSE, IB school, IGCSE. And you have to talk to people about it. You have to say. So when the parents were saying, "Humko to usko doctor banana hai," I said, "But teacher kaun banega?" Because we have to put it across to the students that every profession is successful because of a teacher. So we have to take that pride in that. Next question.
Very true. I think somebody just mentioned sharing their point of view. I've just shared with all of you all. Renuka Mani is sharing. Ma'am, I've lost my mother to age-related issues in the bathroom last month. She was 84, and my colleague told me that now I'm free and have no responsibility or commitment to at all. Because she's unmarried. I was discussing a work-related issue, and she responded in this vicious manner. Shouldn't we have a sensitization workshop with teachers, as this is pandemic may have lost loved ones due to various issues like age or viruses? So she feels we should have a workshop on sensitization. So I just share that with all of you right now. So we should consider that, Amrita.
So
We
when are
can
you
look
having
into
it,
this.
ABCD?
We should consider that. Let's look at a good
I will
speaker.
tell you
Yes. Yes,
one
Rekha ji.
thing. Six, as everybody knows, is with a BMC school, the principals and teachers whom we are training during this time. But this commitment was there. So far, I will run away there. But at 6 o'clock, one of our trustees has passed on. We have to do prayers for that. We have lost in my personal life. That's why I said when I cry, I really cry. In my personal life, in the span of 2 weeks, I have lost 5 people. And it's not easy, friends. I have lost close people to the extent that we have our Monday meetings, our team has. One of the meetings I didn't want to attend. I just didn't want to because I was so emotional. And that's the time we have. So, suppose if I have lost, I shared with some of the people, I said, I want to cry. And I cried. And I shared with some of the people, I want you to pray for me. They prayed for me. I think this has to be a way of life. Workshops has to be a way of life. Workshops has to be a way of life. Today, I know there are prayers reaching out to me because of these workshops. And Bela, we talk about compassion. I know schools doing such big things. हम compassion करते हैं, हम gratitude करते हैं, हम ये करते हैं.
Right.
And I feel like laughing. And I feel like laughing. And I feel like when gratitude का especially आता है, and I tell this, though they are my friends, and I said, but you know what? These things, we did it for you. But I never saw a word of gratitude coming. What are you all going to teach the children? They talk about time management workshop and this and that, and they're never on time, never. So, you all have to focus, and I'm glad this has come on the ABCD platform.
Yes.
Educators need me time, us time, we time. एंड मैं तो जैसे बोलती हूँ, जिसको इंसान को 24 घंटा कम लगता है, उसको 50 घंटे भी कम लगेंगे. So when people say you have 24 hours, I said full 24 hours I have. It's a lot of time, man. Jawaharlal Nehru passed on. My father told me there was not one incomplete paper on his table. These are role models. Complete your work today. Don't wait for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But I do procrastinate. Kal karungi.
Basically, it is walk the talk.
I'll be very
also,
honest. I loved Big Naughty Show.
I think there is now a need for professionalism in education. This casual attitude doesn't work.
Oof. Sorry.
When people are casual about it, when they don't walk the talk, I think that doesn't work anymore.
And I think the casual attitude has gone so much nowadays. Even nowadays, you see, you'll get resignation via WhatsApp. I don't know. I can't understand this WhatsApp medium right now at all.
Yeah. No, but I've seen in so many restaurants also, two people are sitting and chatting on WhatsApp. Now people have stopped communicating. I want to take another question out here. There are teachers with required degrees of education needed to teach, but they're still not able to handle children on various issues faced. On the other side, we find few teachers with more experience and who understand children much better. So when we select a teacher for a school, apart from the degree they possess, we need to make sure this is part of their nature and it comes highlighted when they can deal with children. Do you agree on this?
Totally. What about you, Rekha?
Bill, Amrita, I was losing you somewhere.
No, Amrita, we can't hear you.
Basically, the person was saying there are two kinds of teachers, and one comes with a lot of degrees and professionally developed, and there is one who can handle children. So what do we look for in a teacher? Or is it right that we look for the person who can handle children also and who come with the required degrees?
So the perfect teacher we find mostly in schools where opportunities are given to them. A. Did you lose me?
Yes, but you're back.
Yeah. So I said the perfect teacher we will only find, in movies or in schools where there are opportunities given. What has really worked personally for me was making both of them work together. And see, again, there the jealousy part comes. So suppose you say, why don't you learn from so and so? Then they'll say, kya usko sab kuch aata hai, humko kuch nahi aata hai kya? That kind of a thing. So I think, again, there comes the focus on workshops, sensitizing our teachers, and also teachers don't come with degrees of compassion. They don't come with degrees of kindness. They don't come with degrees of connecting with each other. They come with degrees of B.Ed and what psychology books are teaching us. Where do we get an opportunity as a teacher to go to real life people and we go to schools which may be connected with our B.Ed colleges or with our institution, but we go there and we come out. We go there because we have to put our plan across. This has to be correct. That has not to be correct. Why can't we be 3 months or even 1 week in a class without the supervision and get that feeling of doing things? So if you're getting a new teacher, please mentor them on that level and your demands of the school, your needs of the school, because that's necessary. And I feel the mentor Many times the mentee should select, and many times the heads should select, because it has to be both way. I may not be comfortable with you because your sitting
True.
position and your body language doesn't suit me, but I want to choose my mentor. Allow them, please, because we need a combination of all kinds of teachers. We need it.
Very true. Very
And
well
I
said,
think it's
Rekha.
up to the school also to build that teacher, na, that they
Yes,
want. They have
yes,
to find what is lacking and then they have to do things to
absolutely,
compensate. I don't think
absolutely.
it's okay to just bracket that तुमको ये मालूम नहीं है, you remain like
Yeah.
this.
And also, learning has to be continuous. We talk about lifelong learning, but teachers are not ready to learn. There are very few teachers who will say, yes, this workshop, I'm going for this. This workshop, I'm going
Right.
for that. Very few who are very vocal and they want to learn. Others will sit in a workshop also like this. So that doesn't serve the purpose. You have to be alert for that half an hour, 1 hour. Even when we are doing online teaching or webinars, I tell them for that 1 hour. And see, today they are sitting for so many webinars, they're tired. So that's the time when the management सोचे कल छुट्टी है, हम लोग नहीं फोन करेंगे, नहीं कुछ करेंगे. Then the principal states it, because if it's in the principal's hand, please take a decision. We put it to blame it, pass the buck. अरे लेकिन मैनेजमेंट से पूछना पड़ेगा, अरे लेकिन टीचर्स ऐसे करेंगे. Be the master. कर दो.
Just do it.
Just
Do
do it.
it.
Yes, nicely. Okay, we have another question,
Where
Rekha.
questions आपके? हाँ जी
Yeah,
बेला.
one more question is there. How can educator convince a parent of appreciating their child's moment of success?
Very simple. Do you as a teacher celebrate the child's success? Do you as a teacher write notes? And 1 second, please, sorry. Sorry. Do you as a teacher send little notes to the parent and say, your child wrote a beautiful essay, not focusing on the marks? Did you write a note in 1 month or 2 months to the parent? My request is, do that. When parents see small appreciation of their children, they learn to appreciate, because however educated a parent may be, we still need to educate them for these little things. So make them aware. Once you make them aware that you are appreciating, and as a parent they do not compare the siblings or others, they also learn. I would say that really works. And give them examples of the good thing of the child. And in the PTA meeting, you can be vocal about it. But what really works again are these small appreciation notes of their children, what they are good in rather than what they're not good in. But for that, you have to know your student.
Very true.
Also,
Amrita, I think we'll
another
take a
thing I
last
feel is
question
that
now.
sandwich approach. You know,
So,
you say something good about the child, then you say something that needs to be improved, and then you say something good about the child again. So use the sandwich approach, because I
right.
think everybody deserves more good than bad,
Yes.
you know.
Very true.
And when you hear only the bad opposite, it becomes very bad. So I think it's better to use this.
Amrita, one last question you can ask, and we'll have to wind up. Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
There's one question. Somebody wants examples and all that. So just.
Okay.
Examples of?
How do we train parents not to put pressure on their child to score well in exams? It's okay to fail, but don't give up trying.
How do you convince management and principals of school not to say we got 100%
I
results and
swear.
this is the highest? You give me
Very
that answer and I will convince the parents. That's my job.
I swear. It's a spoon in
It's
hands.
sad. It's very sad. And we are going through this. And I am vocal on this platform. I was vocal on all the platforms wherever I am. How many of us sitting today on the chair can say we got 90% or 80%? How many of us can say that as a parent or as a student? We cannot. So the day the schools stop saying that, and many schools can't even take the credit of it. It is half the coaching classes that need to take credit. Many
Very
of the
true.
coaching classes dare not take those credit because the parents and the teachers have done a wonderful job. So the point over here is, what are we talking about? And I have two biological kids, and I know my son always wanted to be a computer engineer because the whole world at that time wanted to be a computer engineer. And I said, that's not meant for you. But kids don't want to listen sometimes. And he's so good in writing. And I said, you have to be either a TV person or an anchor or hotel person, where you meet people, you connect with people. ये computer engineering खाली नाम है. So okay, go do computer hardware and Jet King and all. But करो कुछ. My daughter was very good in drawing. 2 years, like I always say, एक बच्चों का सीट ले लिया होगा जय हिंद कॉलेज में, and 2 years join किया, but later on it went into art and drawing. So let children. I think education is 101% important. I think degrees are 101% important, but do not pressurize yourself.
Yes.
We as parents are going mad. We as teachers are going mad. I had a suicide case. I hope she's hearing somewhere, in the 9th standard, of a child who is today looking after Amazon and other big company. Why? Of one pressure. But you got only 85 marks. You're capable of getting 95 marks. 9th standard holidays, she attempted to suicide once. What happened? Parents became the frantic. Luckily, thrice she tried, thrice,
Oh my
only
God.
because of our pressure. I took her to UK when we went for the exchange program, and that the parents said she's on medication. I told her, I said, you decide you want to let me down and want to commit suicide. Let's go on the terrace and jump. Both of us will jump. But you have to trust your kid for what he or she is, as a parent, as a teacher. And when I was realizing that we teachers were responsible for her taking this action, our whole attitude changed. I never even thought that kid was getting 85. For me, she was a kid. I never ever told her that. But the teachers who were teaching her, going to the class, but why you got only 85? अरे यार 80 आने दो भी. I have never boasted as a principal of 100%. It's a very nice thing, because why should a child fail? Why? वो भी किसी का बच्चा है. But some can't make it. Show them
That's
the
true.
direction. Please show them the direction. We can go on, but I think we need to
Yes.
pause.
Yes, so it's time to say thank you to Rekha for being over here on IBCD show. We really loved talking to you, your experiences you shared with us, and especially the CCD one, I'm going to definitely remember. So thank you, Rekha ji. And I would also like to introduce the next speaker.
Bela,
Yes,
1
darling.
minute.
Yes, please add
I
on.
want to tell you that we found the brand for ABCD. Right now, I was
Yes.
thinking, and the brand for ABCD, and I hope everybody who is here in the audience will agree, the brand for ABCD is what we want to be associated is experts on board, expert professional development.
Meenal,
For
I love you
everybody,
already.
and changing, transforming the face of education
True.
for early educators.
Thank you,
Bela, you
Amrita.
agree?
Hello.
Totally.
Rekha?
My vision
Please
is
watch.
my vision is A, B, C, D will go to E to Z, and we'll go much ahead. Don't
Wow.
stick to only
Love
bachas
you.
of this age, all age. Because
Love
I'm
you.
How
connected with all the
lovely.
bachas till post graduation. So I want to bring them also.
Sure, definitely, Rekha. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Amrita, Bela, and all the wonderful comments and questions that you all have sent us. Excellent session. Thank you, Purva. Whoever I could see over here, I'm thanking you all. Thank you, Rennie Thomas. Thank you, everybody. I'll go. I hope I get to see the chat later on.
Yes, I can send it to you
Yes,
if you want.
Yeah.
surely, surely.
You can
And
even check
thank
out on
you.
Facebook as well. Since we are live on
Yes,
Facebook, you
I
can
will
check
go
out
on
the.
that and I will share it also.
In case any
Thank you
questions, please ask.
very.
Okay, Rekha.
Yes, Rekha, if there are questions on our Facebook page, please answer.
100%.
Okay, now
100%.
let me introduce our next speaker coming on the 4th.
Can I go, Bela, please?
Yes, you can. Thank you, Rekha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Amrita and Bela and
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Love you,
God
Rekha.
bless.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, so let's announce our next speaker for the 4th November at 4 p.m. Wednesday again is Sonia Bharadwaj. She's a former teacher of Helen O'Grady School of Drama, and her topic is drama in education. So let's Come again next Wednesday. I want to see all of you all who are here today. Come again next Wednesday. And please join our Facebook group called the ABCD Thought Leaders Group, and also like our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Love everybody. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you for coming. Maheshwari, you will be able to join the session when we send out the link for next week. So then just
Bye-bye.
join the session then. Bye-bye, everyone.